ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय राधिकायै प्रियात्मने श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त नारायण इति नामिने। श्रीकृष्णलीला कदने सुदक्षम् आदर्य माधुर्य गुणैश्च युक्तं वरं वरेण्यं पुरुषं महान्तं नारायणं त्वं शिरसा नमामि। आराध्यो भगवान् ब्रजेशतनय दद्धाम बृन्दावनं रम्या काचित् उपासन ब्रज वधूवर्गेण या कल्पिता। श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणम् अमलम् प्रेमा पुमर्तो महान्। श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतम् इदं तत्रादरा न परः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामो 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 हरे हरे। Today we are going to go over the verse 6 of Damodara Ashtakam, the song spoken by Satyavrata Muni to Narada Muni and Saunaka Rishi. Namo Deva Damodarananda Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalapti Magnam Krupa Drishti Bristyati Dinam Patanu Grahane Chamamanyam Yetyakshi Drishya. So here, Namo Deva. So that means respectful obeisances to you who has a divine form. Damodara, one who is bound by the belly by Mother Yashoda and affectionate to your devotees. Ananda, Lord of inconceivable and magnificent potencies. Vishnu, O all-pervasive Lord. Prasida Prabhu, O my Master, be pleased. Dukkha Jalapti, in a network of sufferings as in an ocean, Magnam and drowning. Kripa Drishti, of your compassionate glances. Bristya, by the rain. Atidinam, extremely miserable. But alas, Anugrahanesha, treat me with kindness or enliven me by delivering me. Isha, O supremely independent controller. Mam Anyam, to me, this ignorant. Yedi, please become Akshidrishya, visible to my eyes. So, O Deva, O you who have a divine form, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. O Lord, you are Bhakta Vatsala, affectionate to your devotees. O Damodara, O Ananda, the Lord of inconceivably magnificent potencies. O all-pervading Vishnu, O Prabhu, my Master, be pleased with me. I am drowning in an ocean of incessant worldly miseries. Alas, I am extremely miserable and I do not know what to do. O Isa, supremely independent controller, please deliver me by the nectarian shower of your merciful glance and enliven me by giving your direct darshan to my eyes. So, Sri Satyavrata Muni first offers respect to his Ishtadeva with the words Namo Deva. Deva means he whose form is divine. What is the divine form like? This can be found in the verse 28 of Sri Gopala Sahasranama Stotra. Kasturi tilakam lalata padale Vakshastale kausubam Nasagre varamautikam Karatale venu kare kankanam Sarvange harichandanam Sulalitam kandecha muktavali Gopastri priveshitito vijayata Gopala Chudamani. It says, his forehead is decorated with Maska Tilak. The Kaustuba jewel rests upon his broad chest, and an exquisite pearl hangs from the tip of his nose. The flute gracefully rests in his lotus hands, and bracelets adorn his wrists. His entire form is anointed with chandana, and a necklace of pearls graces his attractive neck. All glories to the crust jewel of the Gopas, who is surrounded by all the young Brajagopis. Deva also means one who is playing. So in this pastime, Krishna is actually playing the form of a child. Then he calls him Damodara. Srila Sanatan Goswami explained several meanings for this word Damodara. One way to understand this name, obviously, is in relation to Mother Yashoda. Sri Krishna is Rasa Raja, Rasika Siromani. He wanted to relish Yashoda's motherly affection, the nectarian Vatsalya Bhava. So he submitted to the will of Mother Yashoda for being bound by the rope of her love. He became known as Yashoda Damodara. But another way to understand this name Damodara is in relation to Srimati Radharani. Also in the last verse of the Damodara Shtakam we sing, Namo Radhikaye Tvadiya Priyaye. Radharani is the Priya of all his Priya, is the supreme Priya of all Priyas of Krishna. And she is the one who can bind Krishna. She doesn't need any rope, just by her glance. So she does not need any rope to bind like Mother Yashoda. With her single glance, Krishna is bound. He cannot move. This binding is Radha Damodara. Also, we see other related pastimes. When Sri Krishna eventually reappeared after leaving the Rasa dance, he somehow pacified Sri Radharani's anger. It is said that one time this happened at Sevakunja, and another time it happened at Manasarovara. Just before they started the Rasa dance again, Sri Lalita and Vishaka tied Sri Krishna's yellow pitambara to Sri Radharani's veil, binding them and making it impossible for Krishna to escape. So this is also Radha Damodara. So then Satyavrata Muni says, Ananda Vishnu. Ananda means unlimited or endless. Oh Lord, you are unlimited and there is no end to you. Thus, your mercy is also unlimited. Then Vishnu means all-pervading. It means that Lord has even entered into each and every atom, and hence He is everywhere. There is no place He is not there. Even though Satyavrata Muni starts with the normal perception of the Lord, Namami Swaram Sachidananda Rupa and so on, his inner heart is of a Raganuga Bhakta. So here the word Vishnu also means the one who also pervades in the caves and kunjas of Vrindavan forests, as well as in the hearts of pure devotees. So, Satyavrata Muni is asking the Lord, O Damodara, for you who is pervading thus everywhere, what is the difficulty for you to give me a direct darshan? This is really an amazing argument. Then he addresses the Lord to show him his mercy and kindness. He says, Prasida Prabho. Oh, you who possesses all inconceivable potencies, O Master, please be kind to me. Deliver me from my pitiable mundane existence and grant me the association of your pure devotees. I have no hope except you. So Srila Gurudev often used to say that we should really pray like this. So why does Satyavrata Muni needs mercy. Prasida Prabho. He begs the Lord to relieve from worldly miseries. Dukkha jalapti magnam. Dukkha jala means ocean of miseries. And magnum means drowning. What kind of dukkha we have in this material world? Repeated birth, diseases, old age, and death are our dukkha. And we have three kinds of miseries added to it. Adhyatmika, problems due to our own body and mind. Adibhautika, problems due to other beings. Adidevika, problems created by the gods, devas. And do these miseries have any limit? No. It is unlimited and never ending. That is why dukkha jalapti magnam. Here, abdi means never ending, or it will be ever going. It's like infinity. So if you really try to trace on the symbol of infinity, there is no ending. It will keep on going and going. It is infinite. How can we get out of this drowning? Obviously, by asking for help. We have to shout. Help from whom? From the Supreme Lord. Only the Lord can rescue us from drowning in the ocean of miseries. Satyavrata Muni also uses the words Adidinam as I mentioned. Adidinam means so much of suffering. Really so much. But why am I suffering in this world? For that Srila Sanatana Goswami says that it is because that I am deprived of association with pure devotees and hence I cannot perform my sadhana bhajana. So I am extremely wretched and destitute. So even though I feel like a living being, actually I am like a dead person. Therefore, Satyavrata Muni is begging the Lord for his kripa drishti. He hankers for a darshan, drishti of the Lord, to put an end to all the sufferings. Kripa drishti vritya tidinam. Adidinam means extremely miserable, and we have no way of escaping from it without help. And that only help comes from Lord. And therefore Satyavrata Muni is praying, Kripa drishti, please give your compassionate glances. How compassionate the Lord has. His glance. Vritya. Vritya means like the rain that pours so much of water. And it pours without any discrimination. So he is asking for the compassionate glances of the Lord that are like the cooling rain, nicely flowing down. So Satyavrata Muni further says, Pata anugrahana Isha. Pata means alas. Isha means, generally it means controller. Here it means Parama Ishvara. Parama Ishvara. Controller of all the controllers. Who is Lord Krishna? Ishvara Parama Krishna, Brahma Samhita. Then Anugrahana Isha means, O Supreme Controller, please bestow your kindness. Also a question may arise. He seems to be asking favors from the Lord. But actually he is a Raganuga. How can we know it? We can clearly see this from the verses, his own verses, 4 and 7. In verse 4, we see that Satyavrata Muni is rejecting all kinds of moksha. Varam deva moksham na moksha vadim va. Oh Lord, I do not pray to you for getting, giving me moksha, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikunta, nor any other boon. So that is verse 4. In verse 7, he again confirms this. Tada prema bhaktim swakam me prayacha na mokshe graho me asti damodareha. Please give me only prema bhakti to you. I long only for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. No moksha. Na mokshe. That means Vaiti Bhakti is thrown out. A pure Bhakta, a Raganuga Bhakta does not ask for moksha. How do you know? Salokya sarshti samipya sarupyai katvam apiyuta diyamanam na grihanandi Vinamat Sevanam Jana. Srimad Bhagavatam. Third canto, 29 chapters, 13th verse. Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, Sarupya, or Ekatva, which is Ayujya, they are all rejected by pure devotees of Krishna. And he hungers only to get a direct darshan of the Lord. Nothing else. So, and also so he has to stay, he has to continuously see that, and he has to be there in that bliss. So we see that his inner heart is immersed in Raganuga Bhakti or Braja Prema. Who will have this kind of determination? Only those who come under our Goswamis. Especially Srila Rupa Goswami will have this kind of determination. Whereas also the root of this Braja Prema or Raganuga Bhakti is bestowed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the root. These devotees, Raganuga Bhaktas, desire absolutely nothing but Braja Prema. So they are like Chataka or Chakora birds. Chataka or Chakora. There are two names for the same bird. The only water that Chataka bird accepts is the rainwater that falls from the clouds when the Swati Nakshatra constellation is prominent in the night sky. Not other times. So a Chataka bird thinks, I do not care if I die of thirst. I do not even care if I am struck by a thunderbolt. I will only drink the water falling from the fresh rain cloud, and that even only at the time of Swati Nakshatra. So unlike crows or similar kind of birds that represent the common people, a Chataka bird, on the other hand, is supremely determined. Crows are found everywhere, known to eat garbage anywhere. No shame, no guilt, and no worry. Keep eating junk and be merry. Finding a Chakara bird is extremely rare. They don't drink water from anywhere, flying high to drink from fresh rain cloud. If no cloud, if no rain, even starve and dead. People like crows are not at odds, running after gods, asking for things that are silly, mostly asking to fill their belly. So rare are ones of Chataka kind. In fact, nowhere we can even find. Looking only at rain cloud Shama, they drink only the drops of prema. Their singing is not for their fame. Their chanting is not for their name. Their praying is not for their belly. Their living is only for their lovely. So Satyavrata Muni is like a Chataka bird. He wants to drink that vision of Krishna as Balagopal, who is crying in front of his mother, begging his mother not to beat him. This very same Krishna is the possessor of all the potencies, who makes the whole universe to tremble by the slightest movement of his eyebrows. But here, he trembled out of fear of his mother. That vision is like that drop of water from the Swati Nakshatra sky for the Chataka bird like Satyavrata Muni who wants to drink. In his meditation, he also saw how Mother Yashoda was kissing Krishna's cheek, and his cheeks became red like bimba fruit that you see on here. It's really red. If you see the bimba fruit, it's really red. And then he thought how the gopis were kissing Krishna so sweetly. Especially, he remembers about Srimati Radharani. But compared to Mother Yashoda's binding and love, Radharani's binding, as I mentioned, is very high. She does not need any rope to bind Krishna. Just a sidelong glance on Krishna, that's all needed. Satyavrata Muni had also heard about the Kirtana performed by the Brajagopis. This Kirtana is deep and very special as they feel immense separation from Krishna. Similar to the Satyavrata Muni lamenting for the direct darshana of Balagopal and to put an end to his sufferings, the gopis were also lamenting for Krishna to end their suffering. The gopis cried, remembering about the sweetness of Krishna and also praising about those who broadcast his sweetness to the entire world and how they can vanquish the sufferings of all the jivas. Tavakatamritam tahapta jivanam kavibiriritam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimad Ahatatam Bhuvi Grunantiye Bhuridajana. So they are saying the gopis are crying. We are all suffering in this material world. Only your words and narrations of your pastimes coming from the lips of your pure devotees are like nectar, amrit, and it will put an end to our miseries. So, your devotees who broadcast your glories, your names, your pastimes, everything to the entire world are extremely glorious. But, of course, you all know Gurudev told how the gopis also gave sarcastic meaning in an indirect way to this. They say, oh black boy, these so-called your pure devotees narrate your pastimes, which are actually poison. Mrita, not amrit, mrit. Those who hear about that black boy are captured, and they will then be weeping and wailing, leaving their homes, leaving their families, leaving their wealth, leaving their possessions, leaving their relatives, everything. And like beggars, they wander without any permanent place to stay, sleeping wherever they can, and tortured by the pain of being separated from you, the black boy. And another gopi says, actually, they are not to be blamed. It is the sweetness of this black boy, his beauty, his flute sound, his leelas. They are the root cause of all these problems. Then another gopi says, these Bhuridajana, you are saying, who narrate the pastimes of this black boy, are actually like the hunters who go hunting the innocent beings. Innocent beings. They don't have no criminal mind, nothing. They are innocent beings. So do not believe these Bhuridajana. They will make you like a beggar. Another gopi says, yes, we are all beggars. And it is surely because of that black boy. That black boy. Look at us. He made us to run from our homes to meet him when he played on his flute. He drove us mad with love and turned us all into beggars. And then he left us. See what a merciless character he has. That is the kind of rasa a Raganuga will have, which we see when we are really reading through the Damodarashtakam and closely fixing our full focus about what he is really trying to, what his vision is. and with such a deep rasa, and we can actually, with our Guru Parampara, we should be able to understand the rasa. And these deep rasa, as it is told in the scripture, it can even control Krishna. But why is that we feel cheated of this rasa? Even after we have obtained sadhu sangha. The reason is that we do not really want to taste this rasa. We are all serious. We are not serious. We should be serious to have the greedy to really go for it. And we do not have that kind of greed like our acharyas had. Otherwise, why do we not feel the anxiety of separation from those Rasika saints? Like Narottam Das Thakur was crying. His entire Padavadi, the whole book, he was all crying. It's a crying school. Why we do not perform bhajana with great eagerness and crying like that? When Sri Krishna concluded his pastimes in this world, a desire to attain, Braja Baba awoke within the heart of Sri Uddhava, the Prime Minister of Lord Krishna in Dwaraka. Actually, this desire came to Uddhava later only by the mercy of the Brajavasis when he came to meet them, and especially by the mercy of Srimati Radhika. He came with the determination that he is going to console the gopis, and he thought he will do a best job. So he told Krishna, don't worry, this is easy to take care of, I can console them. But he miserably failed. And finally he declared that he was not even worth for a foot dust of the Braja gopis. That's one foot dust. That is why he really declared, he just proclaimed, Vande Nanda Braja Strinam Padarenum Abhikshanasa Yasham Harikadod Geetam Punati Bhuvanatrayam. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 47th chapter, 63rd verse. Here he says, I repeatedly offer my respects to the dust from the feet of the women of Nanda Maharaja's cowherd village girls. The woman of Nanda Maharaja's cowherd village. When these gopis loudly chant the glories of Krishna, the vibration purifies all the three worlds. So he wanted to become a blade of grass. And now it is said that he is actually residing at Uddhava Kunda in Govardhana to this day as a blade of grass. For what? Just to get that dust particle from Radharani's feet to really fall on his head. But we do not know if he was able to get a particle of dust yet on him. We don't know. So then, Satyavrata Muni says, Mam Anyam, I am ignorant. But actually he is not ignorant. Why? He has rejected all the 5 kinds of mokshas. That for many sampradayas, even many religions, getting moksha is the ultimate goal. And he rejected all of them. So that itself shows that he is extremely intelligent. But he is saying, Mam Anya, I am ignorant. Then he ends with, Yetyakshi Drisha. Yetyakshi Drishya. This is the core objective mentioned in this sloka. What is the meaning? Sri Satyavrata Muni asks Sri Bhagavan, O Lord, it is not enough for me to just have a momentary vision within my heart. It is not enough. See, just because what happens is, when one is really chanting Harinam, in the beginning, the soul sees the Lord, but it's not directly visible to the mind, etc. So it touches the soul. Then eventually it really comes to the mind, the chitta or the heart. So then he really feel it. Then after that, like even Narada Muni or so many high devotees, just a momentary vision happens. Like even Dhruva Maharaj, momentary things happens or momentary or it's very short, then it vanishes. But here he is specifically asking for something very different. He is saying, it is not enough for me to just to have a momentary vision within my heart. As the little Balagopal crying out in fear of his mother as she binds you to the grinding mortar. Oh Master, I pray to see that form directly with my own eyes for all the times. Namo Deva Damodara Nanda Vishnu Prasida Prabodhuka Jalati Magnam Krupa Drishti Bristyati Dinam Patanu Grahane Samamanyam Yetyakhi Drishya. This is conclusion. So in this verse 6 of the Damodara Ashtakam, the main point is that Satyavrata Muni is hankering for the direct vision of Sri Damodara, not just in the heart. Of course, it will solve all of his problems and all the miseries. So, by Nama Sankirtan, we really advance ourselves from touching the soul, the Bhagavan touching the soul, and then manifesting in our mind or heart, and then we see him directly. And so seeing Bhagavan directly is the highest stage, and that is what Satyavrata Muni is asking for. Nothing else, and that throws all the benedictions, any kind of moksha out. So this is the highest and the topmost of Raganuga. And Vanja Kalpa Tarupchecha, Krupa Sindhupya Evacha, Paditanam Pavanepyo, Vaishnavepyo, Namo Namaha. Jai Gurudev. Hare Krishna.
You just completely caught me. Completely caught me. You know, Bhagavad Kanta Prabhu, I just like everybody to know that he is such a soft-hearted devotee. He went with me about 10, 15 years ago. We went to Africa. Yeah. And you know their hoods in America, Chicago, Detroit. I took him to the hood in Africa. And he went there and he did these same presentations. We did beautiful plays with the kids in the hood. And he completely gave himself. Just seeing him now, I'm saying, when are we going back? Bhakti Kanta Prabhu. Made my Dwadashi. We're doing Maha Dwadashi today. You've made it totally so good. Quite successful. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Amazing presentation. Amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. It all goes to Gurudev and you all, your mercy. Thank you.
Wow. Amazing. You have to come to Africa. I'll arrange for you.
Okay. Yes. Sure, Maharaj. Yes. Looking forward. Yes.
Haribol.
And then
Kanti Prabhu, if the sannyasis of Bhakti Siddhanta were here, they would give you a title. They would present you with a title. Because this is what Sridhar Maharaj told me. This is also the ancient Pandit style of presentation. It was so good. That's all.
Jai, thank you so much for that blessing, Achyutananda Prabhu. Appreciate it. So, Bhagavati Kanta Prabhu, hopefully you were able to hear that at the end.
Yes. Yes, Didi. Yes, I was able to really hear that. Thank you. It's all credit goes to you all and Gurudev. Thank you.
Thank you for your mercy.